Luka update?
Oh, same as yesterday. Still calf strain. As you guys saw, he's riding the bike. He's in good spirits, and so we'll see how he feels tomorrow.
Any improvement that you can notice from yesterday to today?
Externally, he looks the same. So he's in good spirits. He's been attentive to the practices, and then riding the bike, and so we'll see how he feels tomorrow.
If these are regular season games, will we be talking about this conversation with Luka playing this weekend, or is this a different situation, obviously, with them being in the playoffs?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think if we had 1 or 2 days, I think we would still handle it the same way. It would be a game time decision in the sense of how he feels and medical. I was asked that question as a coach. This is out of my pay grade. It doesn't fall in my lap if a player plays or doesn't play. That's up to the player and the medical staff. And I'm given the list of players who are in, and then we go.
Do you feel like Max is progressing?
He's great. He practiced today, and he's going to come talk to you guys. So he misses you guys, so you guys can ask him all the questions. He's really excited to be able to come see you guys here shortly.
In your career playing and coaching, how do postseason series differ from regular season in terms of the strategy and the evolving nature of just playing a team that many times in a row?
Yeah, I think you always try to correct your mistakes. You want to protect home, and so that's all we're focused on right now. As the series goes on, there's going to be different adjustments that teams will make, but you try to figure out first what your opponent's trying to do, and then you're trying to stop it. So Utah is a very talented team. Offensively, they're number one, and so we know we have our work cut out.
I know when you lost to Utah at Utah on Christmas Day without Luka, what did you learn from that game when you go back and look at the film?
That a lot of those players aren't on the team. Yeah. No, I mean we had Charlie Brown. There was that team that we had out there were guys who are not on the team, but we played hard on Christmas. We put ourselves in a position to win that game on the road. Unfortunately, we came up short. But there's always things you can learn from wins and losses, and I thought we learned a lot about ourselves on Christmas.
Jason, a question along those lines about preparation I was wanting to ask is, because that game you didn't have very many of your normal guys, when Utah came to Dallas late in the regular season, Gobert and Bogdanovich and among others were out. So do you do a lot of your prep by looking at games between the two of you, or are you looking at Utah, maybe some of the more, when the roster was more healthy in a few games late in the season? How do you
That's a great question, Mark. I think when you look at the whole, you got to look at games that they played as with no injuries, no COVID, against quality opponent, to see their tendencies, and they probably would do the same with us. But I think when you look at understanding what they're trying to do, they're second, I think, in threes attempted at 40, and then you look at their percentage is high too. So we got threes. And keeping them off the free throw line and rebounding the ball are the three areas that we have to pay attention to if we want any chance of winning.
Going into this season, would you have thought that you could have talked these guys into playing the kind of defense they're playing now?
Did I think?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I wouldn't have wasted my time, starting off that way. I just believe that defense was something that we could improve on. And I wasn't looking to be in the top 10. Improvement from 25th or 26th to being 23rd or 20th is improvement. But this was a big jump. These guys showed that they could do it, and they have fun doing it. And the other side is, players are going to tell you what they like and dislike publicly and behind closed doors, and they talk about playing defense, and that's pretty cool.
What did they tell you behind closed doors?
Oh, that's about minutes and shots.
Have you ever been on a team that's improved this much over one season of defense?
Yeah, my first year in Milwaukee. We were number 2 defensively with the team that only won 13 games with the same roster. Um, so to answer your question, yes. But when you talk about one of the best offensive teams in the league, to go out and show that they can play defense at a high level and also continue to score the ball at the rate that they did also shows that we're making progress and we're going in the right direction.
The defensive numbers since the All-Star break have fallen a little bit from the really highs you had in December, January, and up till mid-February. What are the factors you've seen in terms of just a little bit of slippage, and how do you correct that?
Yeah, I think just looking at being able to end plays, giving them second or third opportunities, our opponent, that was something that we kind of relaxed on, ending plays. But I think the big thing is just sometimes during the 82-game season, details will get overlooked a little bit, and we relied on our offense, and our offense was playing, at a very high level. But I really thought here of late we're starting to get back to the details and finishing plays and helping one another on the defensive end.
Jalen yesterday said that you guys might talk a little bit too much, like that conversation you guys had right before you came to talk to us, which I'm sure you're really excited about.
Yeah, he wanted me to freeze you guys out. That was his call.
It didn't work.
No, I know. No, JB, we might have talked too long and about too many things yesterday, and I apologize for holding them up. But JB, one of our leaders, he's been very consistent for us on both ends of the ball. He's played his role coming off the bench and then jumping into the starting group. And so yesterday's conversation was good. We were just talking about things that we're looking forward to in this series and what I was looking for him to do. But he's a really good guy to talk to, really easy to communicate with. But hopefully he didn't share anything that we talked about. Yeah, there we go. That's what it was.
What do you respect most about the way Jalen approaches the game?
Well, it's in the family. His dad played in the league, so he knows what this business is all about. But what I really respect about JB is he's always been questioned at every level, in high school, college, and he's always found a way to win. And when you need those type of players on your team for the environment, if you're trying to win a championship, you need a JB on there to help that. And so he's been doubted here in the league. Can he have success? And I think he's proven a lot of people wrong.
I think Jalen and Spencer both said yesterday that they hadn't been told that Luka wasn't going to play. They're not expecting him not to play. Is it fair to say that, even if he is unavailable for the first game, that, it's not really something that they need to be told about, that they have an understanding and expectation of what to do if he's not out there?
Yeah, they have a responsibility. Even if he plays, there's times when he's not on the floor with those two and they have a job to do. And we're going to need them to do it at a high level, no matter if he plays or not. But just like being sick, COVID, injury, when you're told, right before tip-off someone can't go, late scratch, these are pros. And so they'll be ready no matter if Luka can go or not go.
How much comfort do you get in playing Jalen? Because we could say that the NCAA Finals is much bigger than the first round of the NBA playoffs.
Yeah, well, Jalen, and with the stage, he's not afraid, and so you can see his growth. We changed his role, so that just shows character that he can adapt. But again, he's somebody as a coach that gives you the comfort that he's going to make the right play. And he's all about winning, and so that gives less stress to worry about when he's on the floor. That I have to, constantly tell him what to do.
What challenges or what changes with a guy like Gobert, who's not kind of a true center and doesn't just hang out at the 3-point line?
Well, he again, he'll be overlooked because he doesn't shoot threes on the offensive end, but if he dominates the glass and he's averaging 3.5, I think offensively, he hurts you, and so we got to keep him off the glass because that gives him second opportunities at threes and then also the dunk for to put back for him. So again, we have to make a conscious effort not to give up offensive rebounds, especially to him.
Hey, Jason, last year Josh Green only played in one playoff game, kind of the tail end of it, so this is going to be his first meaningful playoff experience. Is there anything this week that you can say, that you want to say, that you think you should say that will prepare him, or is it just the baby bird's got to jump out of the nest?
Yeah, I think we talked about it as a group that it's basketball. The media, friends and family might say playoffs, but it's basketball, and he has to continue to just grow and accept the stage because there might be a little bit more criticism of one play. But I think he just has to go through it, just like the season. He had to play minutes to see what he could do, and we all believe that he's going to be a part of our future, and that he had a growth, in the sense of his minutes, being able to bring energy, play defense. We kept it really simple for him, and we thought the return was great.
What's Tim Hardaway's job on the coaching staff for this series?
To yell, scream. Coach Hardaway's done a great job. When you look at what the bench, when we started, we were kind of a group of quiet, we were a quiet bench. And then when you look at what Theo has brought and Tim has joined right in, it's night and day. There's a lot of growth there too of cheering for one another, and that just shows, the unity of this team. They really cheer for one another, and they want everyone to have success.
Will you let him draw up an ATO?
If he has one. I don't know if he's graduated to that yet.
Did you realize that the Mavericks are best in the league, that you guys are best in the league, points per possession on ATO plays?
That's the analytics, and that's for you guys to look up. I just try to put the ball in Luka's hand or JB or decision makers, Spencer, and believe that they're going to do the right thing. And that's, I think, growth too, is that they trust one another. I think someone said it's not always. Well, this is true because I played. It's not always the play; it's the player who can make the play.
It's been a few years since he's been there, but how helpful is it that Igor was on Utah's staff and knows their system so well?
Yeah, when you look at Igor in the connection to Utah, but also the connection in Phoenix, you see a lot of the offense of the top teams in this league are running a variation of his offense. So that's very helpful. It also just shows players, but also just the system that they do run in Utah. They still have some of that that they still run there, and they're running at a high level.
Part of the reason you brought in the defensive philosophy is because of what defense did for you guys in 2011 with you and Marion and Tyson and Dirk's defense too.
Oh, you putting Dirk in there as defense?
No, I was just messing with you.
No. You just seeing if I was paying attention. Listen, I think not just the 2010-11 team, but just overall when you look at championship teams, they got to play both sides of the ball. There's never been a team that is just going to be strictly number one in offense and 25th in defense that's going to win a championship. It just has never worked out, but maybe it does one time. But being able to play both sides of the ball, if the ball is not falling for you offensively, you have something to fall back on, and that's defense. And this group really believes that.